This video is a brief overview of Module 2, which contains 3 chapters, Windows, Web, and Office 2013 Essentials. In this chapter or module, you will discuss the basic functions performed by computer operating systems, use a web browser to search the internet and evaluate site content, and you will use appropriate editing and formatting tools needed to create letters, newsletters, and research documents. In Chapter 1, you'll work with using Windows 7 and managing files. The learning activities will be to read the chapter, review the PowerPoints, and take notes using it. Also, review any student study aids that are on the publisher's website. You should have that bookmarked, or you should have a shortcut to your desktop by now. Listen to narrated PowerPoints, and then in this chapter or module, you'll also complete tutorials on the SNAP website. On the SNAP website, we're in the Computer Applications area. This is Module 2, and so in Chapter 1, there are tutorials to complete. Now, these are not videos, but you're actually doing something. You'll read the screen, and then you will complete the tutorial after reading the screen. So what you do is read the information in the box, and then click the right mouse button in the red box. Then click Control Panel, so you'll see you do exactly what it tells you to do there. In the reports that I receive, it does show me whether you have actually completed the tutorial. So be sure you go through and do each of those items. It looks like a lot, but it goes pretty quickly. It goes pretty quickly in the tutorial. Although these are not for a grade, they are very important to your success in the course, so you want to be sure that you go through the tutorials so you know how to do the assignment activities. This will help those go much faster. In Chapter 1, you'll complete a project. The project has to do with learning or demonstrating to me that you know how to create a folder, so you will take a screen capture, and you first will create this folder, Chapter 1 folder. You'll drop all the data files that you get from the publisher's website into that folder. You'll unzip that folder that you've downloaded from the publisher's website, and you don't have to put the zipped folder in that Chapter 1 folder, but you do have to put those data files. And then you'll follow the instructions in the chapter instructions on Project 4 on renaming files, deleting files, etc. There are several instructions there to demonstrate that you know how to do all of those things, and then you'll create a screenshot that you'll attach to this Dropbox. Be sure you always read the rubric on how you'll be graded. I've also given you instructions there on creating a screenshot if you have not already done that before. With Windows 7, you can use the snipping tool. I have mine on my taskbar. It's pretty easy to add it to your taskbar, and I've given you instructions there. This is also a good time to use the help menu if you need to get help on how to do something. If you don't have Windows 7, although you should have at least Windows 7 on your computer since we are going through that in this chapter, but if you should not have it on your personal laptop, you can also do a screen capture by using the print screen button on your keyboard, which is found up at the top right of hand side of your keyboard. Once you press print screen, it looks like it didn't do anything. However, it saves a copy of whatever you had on your screen in your temporary Windows clipboard. So if you open Word and paste into Word using Control V or go up to paste, on your toolbar, you'll find that it pastes it into Word, whatever had happened to be on your screen at the time. It's much smaller than if you did the snipping tool because it saves your entire screen, but you can always change that by using the crop tool in Word. Also in Chapter 1, you have the quiz, which is, for the most part, it's a self-assessment. Before you start this quiz, you want to be sure that you have done all of the learning activities and that you're ready to take the quiz. It is timed, although you can use your textbook as time permits. There may be one or two essay questions on each of the quizzes, but most of the questions are immediate feedback. In Chapter 2, you're going to learn all about using the Internet, exploring the world using the Internet. You'll navigate the Internet. You'll describe the Internet in some of your assignments. You're going to view multiple websites, bookmark favorite websites, use search tools, and compare the findings of different search engines. Again, in this chapter, you'll do the similar learning activities. Should always read the chapter first, take notes as needed, either using your PowerPoint or just take some notes. Review the study aids that you find on the publisher's website, listen to narrated PowerPoints, and complete the tutorials. Very important that you go to the SNAP website and complete the tutorials in Chapter 2. In this chapter, you will have a project to complete. And your project in this chapter is to explore a new search engine. Use the one that you have, that you use for the most part, whether it's Google, Bing, Ask, or Yahoo, and then choose a different search engine. Use both of them to search for the same topic, which they give you the topic in the instructions in the book on page 69, and then in an organized way answer all the questions that it asks you to answer to analyze the differences in the two. And then when you finish, discuss which one you would use, whether you would continue to use the same one you always have and why. And be sure that you use the information that you found when you were searching for the two to make that decision. You may choose to use the same one, or you may choose to use the new one that you tried. And then also at the end of this chapter, there is a self-assessment quiz. And the last chapter in Module 2 is exploring Office 2000 Essentials, For the rest of this course, we will be very specifically learning how to use each of the different softwares in the package. So in this chapter, you explore some of the things that can be done, such as identifying the various editions of Office 2013 and the system requirements, starting an Office program, and identifying common features. You'll open, save, print, export, close, and start new documents. You'll customize the Quick Access toolbar. You'll perform commands using the ribbon and the Quick Access toolbar and the mini toolbar. You'll select options in dialog boxes and task panes. You'll copy text and object and formatting options, and you'll use Microsoft Office Help. Same learning activities, including completing that tutorial that you'll find on the SNAP website. In this one, you'll also complete a project on the SNAP website. These projects are very important that are done in SNAP. As you, in this particular one, you'll do a flyer. It's a fairly simple flyer. You'll use the instructions in SNAP, not the ones in the textbook. When you have completed following all the instructions, and it's pretty brief for this first project, you'll upload it to SNAP, submit it for grading, in other words, and SNAP will bring back what the grade is for you. And it will also show you what you have missed. Once you've reviewed that report, you can try it again. You can try it 3 times in order to get the perfect score of 30 points. Very important when you're doing this project, be sure that you watch your spacing, as it does count off for spacing. You can use your show hide, turn that on so that you can see the spacing more clearly in between, like after colons and before the word starts. There should be at least one space there. I've put a video in here that you could watch showing you how to do that first, what they call the Grade It project. And this will be the first of many that you'll do in this course. If you have trouble with the Grade It project starting, and I did on my laptop at first, you can go to support to get help if you need to. First, I would run this file that you see on the screen. There's a link to that file. Download it, unzip it, and run it on your computer. It will show you if you are missing anything. It will also provide links to download what you're missing. Most of our computers are ready to run with what needs to be, because it's common plugins that are used there. So most of the time we're ready to run with it. The one thing it does do, though, is download the Snap Player, and Windows 8.1 sometimes has a problem with that. If that's the case, I found that in Firefox I was able to browse to where I needed to go to get that Snap Player to open. And I've given you the information on browsing there. They can also help you. I had really good luck with the chat on the support website. So if you run into any problems at all, you can use them to help you with it. You do not call the tech support for Canvas or for our campus. This does go through the EMCP publishers website, and they're the ones that can support you on this. If you have a little question, I might be able to also help you with it. Just be sure you don't get frustrated, but instead let me know that you're having problems so that I can help you with it, or contact support, because they can definitely help you with it. It's usually a minor problem that can be fixed pretty quickly. For the module exam on this one, you will do a similar flyer, except you'll decide what the content is. You get to choose a destination that you want to go visit and create a flyer as to why you want to visit that destination. Some of the mistakes are not following the instructions. The instructions are very specific about the elements that need to be on there, that you've got to have an image, you want to be sure and change the wrap in the image so that it's not in line, you want a bulleted list on the flyer. So it'll be similar. You can use the one that you did in Chapter 3, Project 3 as a guide, the one you did in Snap, but this one will be uploaded to this Dropbox for grading. And of course it counts for quite a few more points as it is the module exam for this chapter, for this module. End of this brief video.